Hello guys, welcome back to Regan's Rides. I'm Regan and we are now here at Mazda Makati where I have this updated 2020 Mazda CX5 all-wheel drive diesel signature variant, the top-of-the-line variant for the CX5 in the Philippines. Now, since this is the latest update for 2020, we are going to do a walk-around review of this car just to see what changes were made in 2020 versus the outgoing 2019 model. Let's do this. Before I begin with this review, I'd like to extend a special shout out and thank you to Mazda Makati for letting me do this walk-around car review of this CX5 all-wheel drive diesel signature for 2020. Now, if you are in the vicinity of Makati or in the neighboring cities and you have a need for a Mazda, do check out Mazda Makati and see what they have to offer. Now, let's get on with the review. Since the launch of the Evolve Kodo design language and the newest technologies of Mazda in the all-new Mazda 3 and the Mazda CX-30, it was only a matter of time before this design language and these technologies would make its way into the rest of Mazda's lineup. And we now have it here in the updated Mazda CX-5 all-wheel drive diesel signature variant. In terms of styling, not much has changed from the previous year since the previous year already sported that Evolve Kodo design language. You still have that floating Mazda logo right here in the center of a blacked out front grille with an attractive looking mesh design. You have the same chrome garnish right here at the bottom part of that front grille, and you have the same adaptive full LED headlights in the CX5. Now there are also full LED fog lights as well, but what's changed for 2020 is that now you can spec the CX5 to come in this gorgeous machine gray color, which is now available across all the models of Mazda. For me, in my opinion, I find that this machine gray paint to be the best looking color that Mazda has come out with so far, even better than its Soul Red and Soul Red Crystal. Why? Because if you will look at how the light plays on this paint, it looks as if it's made of liquid metal that's just flowing even while it's standing still. However, what's new in the 2020 model are these gorgeous gunmetal, fully redesigned wheels. They're the same size as the outgoing model at 19 inches, and the same rubber wraps around these wheels. It's 22555 R19s, but coming from the previous design, this is infinitely better than the previous year. That gunmetal finish complements that machine gray color that we have on this unit right here. And personally, I find this to be way more attractive than the previous wheel design. Looking at the back of the CX5, you will note that there has been no design changes made at all for the 2020 model because they've already sculpted the CX5 to become such a gorgeous SUV with a gorgeous rear. You also still have the twin functional tailpipes that can be found here, and that is an awesome feature of the CX5 because at least it shows that Mazda is still adhering to its sporty nature even with its SUV lineup. Now, since this is the top-of-the-line model, we have a power liftgate right here, and when you open the liftgate, you will be introduced to a trunk that has never been known to be a class leader in its segment. With the second row seat backs up, you have around 30.9 cubic feet of trunk space. Now, if that's a little bit tiny because, well, you could still put a couple of suitcases there in a pinch, but if you need more space, you can always tumble down the second row seat back by pulling on these latches at the side, and when you do that, you will now have 59.6 cubic feet of space. That should be enough to haul whatever you need to haul as long as you're not carrying a small car. Anyway, towards the floor of the trunk, you will note that there is a leather strap, and when you open that leather strap, you will see you have a full-size spare tire, and inside the spare tire, you have the Bose subwoofer efficiently placed right in the middle of your spare tire. This is a great way of maximizing space for the CX5. Now, to the side of the subwoofer and the spare tire, you have your tools, but then I discovered another fun fact in the CX5. You see, aside from the trunk itself, where everybody can see your stuff, well, at least not strangers, because you got your tonneau cover, but your family, your loved ones, your friends, they can see your stuff. But if you have something that you want to hide from everybody else, the CX5 has a secret cubby that can be found to the sides. You have one here, this is the leather strap. I'm gonna pull out the cover, and when you open it, you have a pretty good sized cubby where you can hide your stuff on the right side, and you also have another one on the left side of the trunk. So you have two secret cubbies where you can put whatever things you don't want your wife or your mom to see inside your CX5. Moving on to the engine, well, when I opened the hood, I noticed that, well, Mazda still uses this hood prop, which personally I'd give it a pass because, well, the CX5 is marketed as a premium luxury SUV, and I would expect at the very least that it should be on gas hood props. But anyway, moving on to the engine, this engine is the 2.2 liter i-ACTIV diesel engine, and well, the previous year's diesel engine was really engaging and really good. So how do you make something so good so much better? Well, you add more power, of course. Well, you see, the previous diesel engine has 175 horsepower, and now Mazda retuned this i-ACTIV diesel engine to come out with 190 horsepower this time around. And coming from 420 Newton meters of torque, this 2020 CX5 now sports 450 Newton meters of torque, which gives it more grunt and more pull and a faster acceleration and a more engaging drive. Now, we still have the same IE loop and i-stop technology that can be found in the previous years, but for this 2020 CX5, we also now have the G Vectoring Control Plus, which is the car's way of making millisecond adjustments on your throttle input just to make sure that your car remains stable in all driving conditions. Moving on to the second row passenger seats of the CX5 diesel, you will note that there is an ample amount of knee room and leg room, and despite the rake-backed flowing design of the evolved Kodo design language of Mazda, you are not going to feel claustrophobic inside the second row seat of the CX5. You still got a good size windows all around you, and you also have that sunroof up front for the top of the line variant. If you are just two passengers sitting on the second row, you will be perfectly comfortable at the back of the CX5. But if you are three in a row, it's going to be a little bit on the tight side. Well, maybe if you are a larger build than I am. You see, I'm not the biggest person in the planet. I'm 5'6", but if you're bigger or larger than myself, then you will have, well, a tighter fit if you are three passengers here. Now, you will also note that you have your dual seat back pockets, which couldn't be found in other models of Mazda, which only has a single seat back pocket, normally found on the passenger side. But in the CX5 Signature, you have two back pockets. You also have your AC vents front and center, where, well, of course, that should help keep you cool. And if you're looking for chargers or USB ports to charge your gadgets, that can be found hidden in the center armrest, which we have here, which has dual cup holders, a small slot where you can park your gadgets, and if you open the cover, you will find a couple of USB charging ports hidden here. If you are three people sitting across on the second row of the CX5 and you need to charge your gadget, well, tough luck, you won't be able to do that from the second row unless you ask the person sitting in the middle to sit on your lap while you are charging your cell phone or your iPad. Now that should get things all fired up. Moving on to the driver's side of the car. When you open the driver's door, the first thing you'll note is you've got your 10-way power seating adjustment with two memory control functions. And looking at the material of the seats, this is no longer the standard black leather that can be found in the previous year model. Rather, you now have this luscious brown Napa leather that could be found in the higher CX models like the CX9, which has now made its way into the CX5 all-wheel drive Signature. This now sports perforated inner panels in the seats, which means that this is now also ventilated seats. So that means you and your passenger will now be able to enjoy cool backs or warm backs depending on where you are or what kind of temperature you'd love to have. So this makes the seats much more comfortable than the previous model. Sitting inside the driver's seat, you will note that you will be greeted by the same Mazda design steering wheel. It's leather wrap, of course. You've got your cruise control buttons here to the right, and you've got your Bluetooth calling and volume controls to the left. Now looking at the instrument panel, the center instrument panel is blacked out because it's in full LED, and when you start the vehicle, you will note that you have the usual speedometer, tachometer, and fuel and temperature gauges found in their spots. Mazda still uses the same infotainment system found in the previous model, but this time around, this infotainment system now comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The big advantage about using this previous generation infotainment system versus using the new ones found in the CX-30 in the Mazda 3 is this previous generation infotainment is still a touchscreen, unlike the Mazda 3 and CX-30 where Mazda removed the touchscreen functionality. Looking at the dashboard is lined in premium leather material, and you've got your wood grain panel here. It's tastefully done. It's in color gray, and it blends seamlessly with the leather dashboard. Moving to the center console stack of the CX5, you'll have your dual zone automatic climate control. You've got your 12-volt charger there and a small cubby where you can park your cell phone. You've got your leather wrap shift knob that connects to the 6-speed automatic transmission. The CX5 diesel still comes in an automatic transmission, but still a 6-speed. So kudos to Mazda for still not using a CVT in their offerings. And you also have your manual mode right here. And you will note that your manual mode still follows the same correct configuration, where an upshift is where you pull the gear lever down, and a downshift is you push the gear lever up. This really shows you how sporty Mazda treats its vehicles. Moving down further, you've got your usual master control knob with the requisite buttons. You've got an electronic parking brake, and it comes with an auto brake hold feature as well. Got a couple of cup holders found here, and you've got your brown leather wrap, Napa leather wrapped center console glove box. And when you open that, you will note inside you will find a couple of USB ports and another 12-volt charger as well, which completes your charging duties for all of your gadgets up here in the front. Looking at the side of the center console, I love how Mazda lined this upper part of the center console with Napa leather, and it's stitched Napa leather at that, because these are the touch points of the driver and the front passenger. So they made sure that you will have that usual luxury feel in your CX5 while you're driving it. Also new for the 2020 model is this button right here. You will note that it now comes with a view button, and when you press that view button and you move towards the infotainment screen, you will note that the CX5 for 2020 doesn't just sport a rear view camera, it now sports, well, a 360-degree view camera that can be found in the Mazda 3, the all-new Mazda 3, and the Mazda CX-30 signature variants. You have a view all around the car. You've got 4 cameras showing you what's around your CX5, and while in park position, you've got a view of the front camera right in this screen. Now if you put it in reverse, that now gives you a different view. This time you have the rear camera showing you the view at the rear of your CX5 while still giving you a view all around your vehicle. Now the CX5 all-wheel drive diesel signature comes with a suite of safety features that can make even the most paranoid drivers sigh in relief. you've got your heads-up display right here front and center, which will give you the pertinent information you need while you're driving, thereby keeping your eyes on the road and, well, allowing you not to be distracted by taking a look at your speedometer gauges and mundane stuff like that. The Signature variant also comes with the i-ACTIVSENSE suite of safety features. First of all, it comes with a lane departure warning with lane keep assist. So that means that you can't just change lanes without using your turn signal, because your car will fight you when you are going to do that. So you have to use your turn signal if you want to intentionally change lanes. That should make you a better driver as well. Aside from that, the Signature variant also comes with driver attention alert, which monitors how your eyes look and how tired your face is, just to make sure that you are still alert and keen on driving. It also comes with Smart City brake support, where at low speeds, if ever it spots an obstacle or somebody just crosses your path, or maybe an animal crosses your path, the car would brake itself to avoid collision. Now lastly, it also has blind spot monitoring with rear cross traffic alert. Now this rear cross traffic alert basically means that when you're backing your car up and somebody decides to cross your car while you're backing up, it will send you an alert just to make sure you stop on time and don't damage your CX5 or cause undue injury to the other party. So there you have it. That is the Mazda CX5 all-wheel drive diesel Signature variant. As Mazda continues to raise the bar in terms of premium level comfort, technology, and driving engagement, so does the price as well. You see, for 2020, this top-of-the-line CX5 all-wheel drive diesel Signature now retails for 2,350,000 pesos. Now that may seem like a princely sum for a compact crossover, but if you value safety, technology, and premium feel, coupled with the most engaging drive you can find in any crossover SUV today, then this Mazda CX5 all-wheel drive diesel Signature should be at the top of your car shopping list. Once again guys, thank you for watching one of my car reviews. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. I upload car review videos once per week. I promise you I'll make it worth your while by subscribing to my channel. Anyway, I will see you again in the next video. Bye-bye.